David Lynch was not only one of the most fascinating filmmakers to exist, he's one of the best to ever do it, but he was one of the most fascinating humans to ever exist. He had this knack for just looking at life and showing us life through this very kaleidoscopic and I'll just say anxiety inducing lens. And obviously that's shown in his art, but as a person, he just seemed so eccentric and dedicated to his craft. The first Lynch I ever saw was in college, and that was The Straight Story, which is the most tame David Lynch movie you'll ever see. But even when he was holding himself back, he still gave the audience a completely different look at life. And the ending to that movie left a huge impression on me. It's a wonderful ending. And then the next day, my professor showed us Rabbits and Dumbland, and I was like, okay, this is the David Lynch that everyone's been talking about. But I was intrigued, so on my free time, I watched Blue Velvet, Mulholland Drive, Eraserhead, Elephant Man. I haven't seen everything, and I want to. But those four movies that I listed are movies that are very much burned into my memory. That's the kaleidoscopic, nightmarish, anxiety inducing David Lynch that we all know and love. Mulholland Drive, especially, may be the greatest movie I've ever seen. It's easily my favorite movie to fully dissect and analyze, even if I don't fully get it. And it has probably the most despairing ending to a movie that I've ever seen. I can't get Naomi Watts' screams out of my head. I can't get that final line out of my head. And that was Lynch, he refused to be forgettable. He had such a bleak view on the world, but when you really think about it, it's kind of beautiful in a lot of ways. There are directors who have come close, Ari Aster, Jane Schoenbrunn, to a much lesser extent, Richard Kelly. But there's really only one filmmaker who will master the Lynchian effect, and that's David Lynch. One of the best to ever do it, one of my favorite directors of all time. I gotta get started on Twin Peaks.